surface of the earth is not same everywhere. Some parts are elevated and some are flat. These are the result of two processes known as internal process and the external process. Firstly, the internal process. Do you know the very ground on which you are standing is moving slowly? These result in upliftment or sinking of the earth's surface. Secondly, the external process, it is the continuous wearing down or a rebuilding of land surface. For example, the erosion, that is wearing down of the land surface, and other is deposition, that is rebuilding of the land surface. So these are two processes, that one internal one and the external process. Now depending upon elevation and slope, the landforms are classified as mountains, plateaus, hills, plains and valleys. Before that, let's start with the hills. Hills are the landforms that are the land surface that rises higher than its surroundings. Then comes the mountains. These are generally higher than hills and hit an elevation more than 600 meters, and they are termed as mountains. Mountains are have small summits and they have broad base. Some mountains are even higher than clouds, and some mountains have glaciers. Glaciers are nothing but permanently frozen rivers of ice. Now, mountains are arranged in lines, are called range. For example, the Himalayan range, uh, Rockies range, and there are three types of mountains. Fold mountains, these are created because of tectonic activities. The Himalayas, the Alps, and the Andes mountain, these are fold mountains. And also there are block mountains. The block mountains, when the huge rocks are broken and displaced vertically, upliftment block is called coast and the lower block is called graben. Finally, there are volcanic mountains, and these are formed because of volcanic activity. So these were the three forms of uh, mountains, or three types of mountains. Now let's talk about more about mountains. Mountains are rugged terrain. They're not suitable for living, even though mountains are important because they are a storehouse of water, and moreover glaciers fed water in summer season. These waters are utilized in irrigation and electricity generation, inland transportation, and so on. Also, mountains are biologically diverse and have great variety of land and animals. Moreover, mountains are the tourist hotspots. Now, let's talk about plateaus. Plateaus, it is an elevated flatland. It is flat top tableland standing of the surrounding area. It may have one or more sides with steep slopes. Height may vary from few hundreds to several thousands. Deccan Plateau is the one that is the oldest plateau of Asia, and Also, the Tipton Plateau is the highest plateau in the world. Plateaus are important and useful because they have minerals. For example, the African plateau uh, is famous for gold and diamond mines, and similarly, there are so many waterfalls in the plateau areas that are attracting the tourists. Similarly, they have rich soil which is fertile and good for cultivation. Now, there are plains. Plains are the large stretch of flatland. In general, they are not more than 200 meters above the sea level. Most of the plains are formed by the rivers. Basically, the rivers flow down the slopes of the mountains. While coming down, they erode and carry the eroded material. When the rivers reaches from the flat plains, speed of the river is increased, and they also make the land fertile with deposits they carry. Now, in general, plains are good for economic activities. Plains, fertile land are also good for agriculture, and also transport is very easy. Plains are highly productive for cultivation and settlement of humans. Plains are thickly populated regions of the world. Now comes the valley. In geology, a valley is extended depression, typically between the hills or mountains, that is longer than it is wide and normally has river running through it. Valleys are among the most common features of the world, and they are typically formed through erosion. Well, erosion is wearing away of the earth soil of rock as a result of rain, snow, and ice and wind. There are three types of valleys, and these are V shaped valleys, river plain valleys, and U shaped valleys. V shaped valley has steep walls and narrow floors, which forms a V. Uh, this is why V shaped valleys get their name. And they are formed from fast flowing rivers from move across the earth's surface as they quickly flows downhill. The rushing water picks up and carries boulders, rocks, and soil away from the area. This erodes a deep path through the way, which forms a V shaped valley. Just like the V shaped valley, U shaped valley is named after its shape. A U shaped valley has walls that are not as steep as V shaped valley. U shaped valley has a big floor. U shaped valleys are formed um, by moving slow movement of glaciers. The U shaped valley can only be seen after the glacier has melted. It doesn't matter how steep a glacier is and is the size of the glacier. They don't tell how big the valley is.